the newest tactic, which is shadow banning. So, for anybody that is not familiar with that term, I'll give you the floor to please share your experiences with that and what that actually is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the way Facebook was really famous for this early on, right? And so you would have, uh, well, they eventually took people's accounts out, right? I had 47,000 on Facebook before they took my Facebook account out. But before that, they were just heavily shadow banning. So you'd have people, Trump and some ministries that were starting to talk about the truth would go from their lives literally having 2 to 3 thousand views to 20 or 30 with no changes, right? Your same audience,
That's right.
you basically go live and they just don't show it to anybody,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Somebody has to be like on your page, right?
Hmm.
Looking at your page or something, but it's not showing out. And they have algorithms where they can actually show it to new people outside your followers as well, which is a very common thing and actually that's one place TikTok does the best. New accounts can be discovered really fast if they have content that they think's interesting to their users. They'll do a really good job at that. If you have the content that we're talking about,
Yeah,
um, they purposely have made it to where no new users see it,
that's right.
right? So like on my 103,000 YouTube channel right now, nobody's seeing it, right? So
Yeah.
and so that's what we have here is a whole new tactic um, of massive shadow banning.
Yeah, one of the things just to dive into this more too, and I will use TikTok again. I'll get back to YouTube. Don't worry, YouTube. I'm going to include you in this too. But great example of this on TikTok. So routinely, I have about 700, roughly about 800 people now, 700, 800 somewhere there on TikTok. I have a really fairly small audience thus far, but routinely we're getting very consistently 900 views. Some videos were less, but that was pretty consistent number for me, but definitely several hundred. 2 weeks ago when I released a short for my discussion with Joe Horn in his book that just came out, which is Innocence Shattered, which talks about child trafficking. They're definitely not having that, right? So I literally, last I checked, had like 4, 7, something like that. I mean, it's the
Oh,
only
wow.
one of my videos that you can see this fairly consistent marker with a little bit lower here and there. And the lower is always some kind of heavy spiritual highlighting the enemy, right? In some form or fashion where we don't want to do that. But then Joe dropped all the way down to like 7, 5, whatever it was, 10, I think, I don't know what it was. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
so obvious that that's what they were doing to me. So there's not anything in there that they can come after you for, because it's speaking enough truth and enough generalities where they can't necessarily get you for anything because you're speaking out against something that's bad. But we can definitely see a concerted effort that we do not want this information to get out there. So they're deliberately suppressing it. The other thing that I think YouTube and some of these other channels are doing is, in order to kind of fudge the analytical numbers a little bit, because I've noticed this, they will either not put it in front of people who will be interested, or to fudge, to make it look like, well, we're trying. I believe what they're doing is they will put it in front of people who are not interested in it at all and won't click it. Because they know, right? They have a huge database. Huge
Yeah.
database. For those of you that do not know, the largest search engine in the world is Google, and the second largest search engine is YouTube. Okay.
Mhm.
So they have a monstrous combined database of user information. All right.
Mhm.
And so they know that if Rick is never going to click on my video, they're going to feed it to Rick, because they can go, well, we tried to put it in front of people
It's
just
just
so
not
that they
ready.
can. Yeah, so it's just another tactic inside of the tactic of shadow banning. So that's what they do, right? I have screenshots of videos. You probably could do the same thing, where you can see I put something out and it's shooting up like a rocket ship. All right.
Right.
The initial run is shooting up like a rocket ship. There's high engagement, meaning people are hitting the like button. There's high engagement as far as the comments. There's a high rate of click-through percentage, because your click-through rate, how often people click on the video when it's presented to them, is high. It's shooting up fast as far as views. Every single metric that they will tell you that should equal a successful video is present, and then it literally will flatline. They will cut it
Mhm.
right off. It's like watching a sickle come through and just slice off the top of the grain, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for those of you who are not familiar with how that works, there is shadow banning 101 for you, the newest tactic of the the new censorship tactics that we have now, where we won't necessarily come out and give you a warning and deplatform you, because shadow banning is much more effective, right? It's an easier way to hide and use the algorithm and AI scrubbing to do that.